It's gonna feel uncomfortable at first, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I first booked my first international solo trip, I'm like, I don't know if I should go," but then I ended up having the best time. Is solo travel weird? Well, that depends on who's asking the question. I've been traveling solo for a while now, and I've received so many looks and questions. I started traveling solo for work. For work, I had to go on the road and visit different clients throughout different parts of the Southeast. And I began traveling that way solo. I worked my way up to doing a long road trip, which was 6 hours away to DC. Then I did an airplane solo trip and flew over to the West Coast to visit San Francisco. And my first international solo trip was to Turks and Caicos. I still, to this day, get questions. I can remember so many different questions on solo trips from, it was an older lady that asked in confusion, "Where are your homies?" Like people that could have came with you on this trip. On my first international solo trip, which was to Turks and Caicos, people asked, who are you with? I gave limited information. Then I've received a question. I was on a shuttle bus back to my hotel with other people staying in a hotel, and this lady just blurted out, "Are you by yourself?" And like, when they ask that question, there's always like a tone with it that they look in confusion. First of all, I think that's not a question you need to be asking a solo traveler. If you want to know, just don't ask. Like, what business is it of yours? And also, that's very dangerous, like to single that person out and point them out that they're by themselves. So her friends that were with her kind of looked at her like, I can't believe she just asked that. When people ask, is solo travel weird? I think that it's weird to people who don't understand it and would never do so themselves. But those people are not you. So is it weird to someone that's not used to it, maybe older person, or you just never know? Is it weird to somebody that's not used to it and would never feel comfortable traveling solo? Probably. They cannot comprehend why you are traveling solo, why you're not waiting on someone to travel with you, why are you traveling by yourself? Is it weird to some people's family members? Yes, it's weird to my family members. They just don't understand why I would travel solo. And if you're new to traveling solo or thinking about it, you can't let those people's opinions sway you. You have to do what is best for you and what you want to do. And if you're asking yourself, is it weird to travel solo? It's going to feel uncomfortable at first. I'm not going to lie. Like, when I first booked my first international solo trip, I'm like, I don't know if I should go. But then I ended up having the best time. I inside of my hotel, scheduled a massage. I rented a car and I drove around to various places on the island. And yeah, so like if you're asking yourself for the first time, is solo travel weird? It's just going to feel uncomfortable. And it's something that you need to work your way into. I told you I started small, did neighboring cities, then branched out to a 6 hour away road trip, then branched to across the US and then out of the country. And since then, I've been to other countries by myself. But then you have to ask yourself, if you're kind of feeling like it's weird, you're going to come across as if it's weird, if that makes sense. Like whatever energy you're putting out there, that's the energy that you get back. And you have to be careful with that. You don't want it to set the tone for your trip, feeling awkward and weird. So if you're not comfortable with like a road trip or across the country, you can start small by just going out to eat by yourself and doing things by yourself. But don't push yourself to the point where it's past your safety and comfort level. But just know that we've all had these feelings of, is it weird, or is solo travel going to be weird? Is it going to be uncomfortable? Like I said, it is at first. But then you have to ask yourself, is it weird that I'm putting myself first? Is it weird that I'm not waiting on people to travel with? Because that's what it really is at the end of the day of solo travel, is you're not waiting on people to see the world. You're out there traveling solo because everyone's schedule is not going to line up. People don't want to go to the same destination as you. Sometimes group trips can be a headache compared to traveling solo where you get to do what you want to do. So that's why I said when you ask the question, is solo travel weird? You then have to ask yourself, is it weird to do the things that I want to do, put myself first, not have any regret, not waiting on people? That is your answer right there. Just doing some internal thoughts about that so you can understand why traveling solo, once you get past that, is going to be a good learning experience, a fun learning experience, a great opportunity. And to those that are like looking at you crazy or wondering why you're traveling solo, what they think of you is not any of your business. So unless they are trying to cause harm or anything, keep it pushing. Be safe while you're out there. But I say to you, is solo travel weird? No. It's all about the experience that you make it, and hopefully it is a great experience with you traveling solo. I have a ton of videos on tips for traveling solo. After this video, check those out. And while you're here, be sure to subscribe to this channel. My name is Kim, and I'm the creator of WorkHardTravelWell.com.